eating plans that result in sustainable fat loss, paleo, primal, whole30, low carb, high fat, ketogenic, as well as whatever your neighbor did to lose fat and keep it off, all have one thing in common. They all make you a better fat burner. I'm Blair, a wellness-oriented RN from BetterFatBurner.com, and this is Better Fat Burner, the reality show, setting you up to eagerly, readily, and preferentially burn fat for your energy needs. I'll show you that it's not as crazy or extreme as you think. In fact, it's easily sustainable and innately satisfying. Glad you joined me. This is part 2 of my Better Fat Burner breakfast. And there's 3 parts. In the first inaugural episode, I talked about eating grass-fed beef hot dogs. And there's something that I encourage you to enjoy any time of the day. And that is also true for the second mainstay of my breakfast. And it's something that has been eaten traditionally in Japan for thousands of years. It's actually a noodle, and it's shirataki noodles. And I like the Pasta Zero brand that comes in the spaghetti form or the fettuccine form. And what they do is they give you something that I consider the missing factor in low-carb diets today. And I think people are getting it right by encouraging that we eat less digestible carbohydrates, but I think they're missing the fiber factor. And these noodles have, let's say, a serving, and a serving, there's 2 servings per bag, will give you a total of 4 grams of carbohydrates, and they have 3 grams of fiber. So you subtract the fiber grams from the total carbs, and that gives you 1 gram of digestible carbohydrates. Now you can compare that to regular pasta, 43 grams. Now there's something extra special about the fiber in shirataki noodles. The shirataki noodles are made from the konjac root, which is high in glucomannan, which is a soluble fiber, a viscous soluble fiber. And if you are following a healthy low-carb diet, then you're probably eating tons or a lot of non-starchy vegetables, which are high in insoluble fiber, which is also very good for you. But it can be hard to find higher sources of soluble fiber. And what soluble fiber does is it forms a gel during digestion, so it slows everything down, so it keeps you fuller longer. And if there is any impact from carbohydrates and blood sugar, then it will slow the release of that down, which minimizes the impact of insulin, which allows you to bump up your fat burning. So you can eat the whole bag if you want, and you also get a good noodle fix from this. Now, there's all kinds of highfalutin ways that you can prepare it. You can parboil it, you can pan fry it, but I'm going to show you the most easy and efficient way that you can do at home or in the office, and it's how I do it in the mornings. You just take the bag of noodles and cut it open, drain them in a colander, and you want to rinse them really good with cold water because there's a natural odor to them. And then take a paper towel and pat them dry. And then what I'll do is put them in a mason jar. Get them all in there. Already added oil to these so they're a little bit slippery. And you pop it in the microwave. I never need to heat them up more than a minute. And then you want to add your choice of natural fat. Now in the mornings, what I like to do is I will add macadamia nut oil, and it is usually a very expensive oil, but I found it on Swanson's, and it's cold pressed for at a reasonable price. And you can also Google like a promo code, and you can probably get even more off. And it has this handy dandy spout and I give it a very generous, and I'm not going to do it right now because I've already doused it, but you do a squeeze of the macadamia nut oil, and that's how, and I just eat it like that. Now I will also, if I have leftover salsas from a meal, maybe from like an Asian meal, or any kind of, like a curry, then I might take some noodles and have more for lunch and just put that sauce over it. You can also do just like Parmesan and butter, make you can do like a macaroni and cheese from it. You can also have it with a soup. I mean, it's There are many brands of shirataki noodles. I prefer the brand without tofu. But tofu or not, they're generally found in the refrigerated tofu section of grocery stores. Locally, I find Pasta Zero at Harris Teeter and Walmart. They're about $1.60 a bag. Shirataki noodles are predominantly made with the konjac flour that's high in the glucomannan, that's high in the soluble fiber. In fact, it's one of the most viscous soluble fibers you'll find. It's going to be your better fat burner buddy across the board. It enhances bowel and gut health, blood sugar control, it decreases inflammation, and by forming a gel during digestion, it keeps you satisfied longer, and like I said, it minimizes the impact of insulin, thereby maximizing the impact of fat burning. So, head-to-head comparison with regular pasta, we're talking 220 calories per serving and over 40 net carb grams versus the Pasta Zero or comparable shirataki noodles that provides 15 calories and 1 net digestible carb gram in the same size serving. To get the net digestible carb content, you take the total carbohydrates and you subtract out the fiber. So because of the different texture of shirataki noodles, it's wise to keep things simple initially, and you can get fancy once you acquire a taste for them. But buy several bags, and I encourage you to try it again until you do acquire that taste for them. So open a bag up, drain and rinse it well with cold water in a colander. It removes that natural odor. Pat dry with a paper towel and then put it in a mason jar or something comparable. Heat for a minute or so and douse it with your sauce or natural fat of choice. Butter and Parmesan are a good first go, and lately I'm enjoying the Swanson's macadamia nut oil. And shirataki noodles naked taste neutral, but they readily take up the flavor of whatever you douse them with. The macadamia nut oil tastes buttery and mild like macadamia nuts, and it's higher in monounsaturated fat than olive oil, and it can be used similarly as a dressing for sautéing, baking, and it's a good base for homemade mayo. So the shirataki noodles are providing that missing fiber factor, and the macadamia nut oil is providing quality natural fat. Remember, eat what you want to burn. Now, links with details on the ins and outs of part 2 of my breakfast can be found in the show notes and on my blog. In the next episode, I'll cover part 3 of my Eat Anytime Better Fat Burner breakfast. It's the dessert course, so you don't want to miss it. The time is now to become a better fat burner, because my How to Become a Better Fat Burner video tutorial is now 16% off. It's going to be your best resource for losing not just weight but fat, and for keeping it off. So get your better fat burner on while decreasing chronic disease risk, and feel free to share it with friends and family. You just need to send them the access email. You'll also receive PDFs, including a comprehensive shopping list. So click the link on the screen in the show notes or at betterfatburner.com, where individual consultations are also available. Enter the discount code BLEAN2016. That's BELEAN, all caps, 2016. And for ongoing support and inspiration, tap into my Better Fat Burner link of the day social media postings. This is where I'll post relevant articles, videos, recipes, and even workouts on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. To follow, just simply click the links on the screen or in the show notes. You can also find me at Better Fat Burner. Also, keep an eye out. There'll soon be a podcast version of Better Fat Burner, the reality show. So that you don't miss an episode, please subscribe to my channel and blog, and know that I really appreciate any and all your likes and shares. So thanks again for tuning in today, and take it easy.